Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and we're standing outside one of our more beautiful homes that we've remodeled in a while. This is one we bought really cheap a few months ago, and it looks so different on the inside, I promise you. So we'll show you the inside, we'll show you what it looked like before, and we'll talk about the outside and what we're doing on the outside as well, because as you can see, it is not amazing yet. So you can see the outside of the house still looks about like it did when we bought it. And this is most likely asbestos siding. We don't know for sure, we haven't tested it, but just the way it looks, it's usually asbestos when it looks like that. So you have a couple of options when you're dealing with asbestos. One, you can just take it off, throw it away, pretend like it wasn't there. And you're probably looking at massive, massive fines if you're ever caught. So it's usually not the best option. There have been companies, people fined tens of thousands of dollars or even more for illegally dumping asbestos, trying to hide it. Happens often, I guess, probably, but it's usually not worth the risk. The other option is to have an asbestos company come over and take out all of the asbestos and dispose of it properly. That can also cost tens of thousands of dollars to do that as well. And then the other option is you can cover it up. It's legal. You can re-side it or possibly re-stucco it and leave it there. If you do not disturb the asbestos, it's not harmful. It's usually harmful when you're removing it, creating dust, breaking it in some way. That's how it becomes harmful, when you inhale the dust and fibers from asbestos. Now, the city of Greeley, where we're at, actually allows you to dispose of, I think it's a 50-gallon drum of asbestos in the dump without a license, permit, anything like that. Obviously, we'd have much more than that here, so we can't do that. You also can buy tiles that look similar to asbestos now that aren't. So you could remove some of these broken tiles, replace them if it was a small amount. But there's so many broken pieces that I don't think that would make sense. So what we're doing is we're going to stucco the outside of the house. So we can leave it there, stucco over it. I think it'll make it look so much better than it is now. And we're just waiting now for the stucco company to come over and complete that and then get it signed off on by the city, and we're good to go on the outside. So hopefully that happens soon, but the inside is almost done. So inside, this house was a mess too. A big mess. We completely redid a lot of it. There used to be a kitchen right there with a wall, and then this was your living room right here. So this living room still feels really small to me, and it's crazy to think they had a kitchen in here too. So we actually added these closets just because it gives a little bit of storage, and then we've got room for a stackable washer and dryer right there. I'm just thinking we shouldn't have the closet rack right there if we have that right there. So that's something we'll have to figure out. We're not completely done yet. We're still working on that. And then before, we also had a door right there, a door right here. So we took out one of those doors and made this bedroom have a more usable space for putting a bed, furniture, things like that. And that's one thing I'm really, really bad at. But Nikki, my project manager, is much better at saying, hey, there's no spot for a bed here. There's doors and windows or stuff in the way. I don't even think about that stuff. So she's a big help with that side of it. So I said your kitchen was basically right here. We moved the kitchen into here. Of course, we'll link to the before video too to show you what it looked like. But here you can see our brand new kitchen. This used to be a giant laundry room, if you can believe that. Not a very good use of space when you have so little space. This whole room was your laundry room. But now you can see we have a dishwasher, new cabinet, stove, all of that. So it looks so much better and is so much more functional now as well. We bought this house for $100,000, which is crazy in Greeley to buy a house that cheap, but there are reasons why it was so cheap. You can see the bathroom is completely redone as well. And it's probably going to be worth, it's hard to say for sure, but the market keeps going up. 230, 240, maybe even 250. And we'll probably have spent about 40 to 50,000 on it. Hard to say. This room before was just a little room. It's advertised as a 1-bedroom. And then we added our closet right here to make it a bedroom. Pretty simple. And that's it. That's the house. So very small, very comfy house, right? But still should be a really good deal. We'll have another 25 or 30,000 in carrying costs, selling costs, financing costs that go onto that. But it should be a pretty decent flip once we're done with it. And once we get that stucco on and just a few things in here tidied up, because we're not quite done in here, as you can see. So a lot of people want us to tear this sucker down. One thing, we added electric baseboard heat. You can see that there too. It did not have a full heat source before. A lot of people want us just to tear this down and build a different house, but it costs a lot of money to tear down a house. We just tore down another one, and it was $25,000 just to tear down the house. And that house did not have asbestos. We tested it, had to have it tested before we tore it down. It did not have asbestos. So if you do have an asbestos, it costs even more to tear down a house. So why tear down a house when it costs you $30,000 to do it, and then you spend even more money rebuilding from scratch? So maybe I'll do a separate video on that and go over the numbers on tearing down a house versus not tearing down a house. Let me know if that would be interesting to you guys. Otherwise, that's the property. We'll keep chugging along with our flips. We've got some other ones almost done too. A lot of them kind of almost done, which is a little frustrating. We'd like to get them all the way done, but at least they're making progress. And of course, check out investormore.com for much more information on flips, rentals, being an agent, all that great stuff. Please like our videos. We love seeing the likes. Please leave comments if you have anything to say. We'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back with much more coming up here soon.